You can take a hormone now.
I can't.
The new one.
We're ready. Hi, I hope you are well. This podcast is a place for people to share personal and professional perspectives, talk openly, and ask questions. From serious to silly to sublime, it's all about communication and connection. Always coming from a place of kindness and curiosity, we talk about shared humanity, discuss ideas, and highlight people creating a better world. We've got to keep learning, keep growing, keep being. I'm Melissa Beek, and this is Beek on Being. Hi, everyone. I hope you're well. Today's episode is Beek on Being Widowed. So today I've got the mother of all mothers here, my mother. We are discussing a very serious topic that we talk about often, what it truly means to lose your significant other, the after effects of such a great loss, and the deep loneliness she has experienced, and what brings her strength to move forward so fiercely. So, Ma, introduce yourself and tell our listeners a little bit about you.
My name is Ruth Garber Shere. My number one child has dragged me here. So I don't know how dear and calm this is, but I fiercely have things I wish to say about the stigma of being a widow in groups of people that one has associated with for 50 years and the loneliness.
Okay, good. So we're going to get into, not good, but we're going to get into all of this. And I'm sorry, I know you were complaining before we started recording that I dragged you here and you're not liking it at all. But
That's true.
I hope that maybe in some small way it helps you and helps maybe at least one listener out there who's experiencing
I
the
did
same
come
thing.
because I feel that all the years that my husband was ill and all the years since I've been alone, that I might be able to help someone.
Okay, good. So my first thing is I would love for you to tell my listeners the story of how you met Daddy.
That story?
Yeah, I want that story. And don't
Okay.
leave out all the details that we love.
Leave all of them?
No, tell us everything. Okay. How did you meet Daddy?
He started calling me. He had dated my girlfriend. And in those days, there were too many fish in the sea, as my Nanny Rose would say. So one did not go out with someone who had gone out with a friend of yours. But she had given him my phone number because she told him I was pretty and I was smart and blah, 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 and to give it to his roommate, Ira Cohn, whomever that is. I never met him. So he started calling me, and he called me for 6 weeks, and I kept hanging up on him, and I said, "You're a stalker." And he was insistent. He wanted to go out, and I said, "No." And then I said, "Well, you're too old for me anyhow." And finally, he would not stop, and he was working. At that time, he was building in Pinecrest. And he said, "Would you just meet me in Sunnyland for a coffee?" Well, I was too young to really drink coffee, so I had a tab. And we met, and it was cordial. Then he said, "Can we go out Saturday night?" And I said, "Well, I have plans. I go to this club on Saturday night because I like to dance, and all my friends are there." And I go, and he comes to the door. Had there been someone behind me, and had I not met him, I would have said, "Ruthie will be right out," and kept on walking. He is in a gold velour V-neck with an ascot. I'm wearing platforms, hip hugger jeans, bell bottoms, crop top, twiggy lashes, a bandana on my head, and that's how we looked. And so I had to go with him. First of all, then he comes in his mother's car, which is this huge stretch limo Jaguar. So I'm mortified. My friends had VWs or who knew the names of whatever cars they had. They were ancient. So we go to the club, and he's drinking. In those days, we didn't drink.
You can say anything.
Okay, we didn't drink. We smoked.
Right.
So
for clarification, you smoke pot.
Pot. So he goes up on the stage and starts And he's totally wasted. And he goes up on the stage and he starts playing the tambourine, but he had no rhythm and he was on the wrong beat. And I am mortified. And a guy is passing me with a tray of drinks, and one of them looked like chocolate something. I said, I'll have one of those. And I found out later it was a Kahlua and cream. Well, I had it. I told him I wanted to go home. I fell asleep in the car the entire way home. So that was our first day. I said, I never wanted to meet you. I never wanted to see you. Bye-bye. Have a nice life. And then he called me again the next day and he said, you fell asleep on me. It's not right, blah, blah, blah. You owe me another chance. And he continued that entire week. So on Saturday, and then he said he was going to take me on his father's yacht. Well, I had never been in anything bigger than a rowboat in Lake Echo in New Jersey. And I said, oh, well, I have no other plans Saturday night. So he picks me up and we go. But he starts chasing me from stateroom to stateroom. Later, I find out he's like this big shot on Miami Beach, and all the girls loved him and would do whatever he wanted. So I went to the captain, and I said to Stephen, if you don't stop this, I'm going to have the captain call the Coast Guard. So he took me back, and we went home, and I said, that's it. Do not ever, ever call me again. I'm going to have my father after you. My father was a tough New Jersey guy. Saturday night, Sunday morning, I get a phone call. And I said, listen, I have to get a restraining order. You're really nuts and psycho. And he said, no, I won't bother you again. But I think I left my wallet in your purse.
That was his trick.
And I said, how dare you? And I looked, and the wallet was there. Meanwhile, he pulls up on his motorcycle in a pair of jeans and a T-shirt, and he's hot as anything. And he comes in, and like he's a real normal, nice human being, and we fell madly in love, and we got each other.
I love it.
That's how and that was it. I mean, we just like clicked.
Yeah, you did get each other. I think you guys were the yin and yang to each other because as wired and as wild as you were was as grounding and as mellow as he was.
Yes.
And so I think you balanced each other out. That was a very good story. I love that story. I just needed my listeners to know that story. Yeah, it's a good one.
It was a good one.
It is a great one.
He had decided I was it.
Yeah, and he pursued it until you acquiesced. Yeah, exactly. 100%. So unfortunately, this isn't all the great parts of the story. We're talking today about you being widowed. And I wanted to give my listeners a little context about how that happened, because the story of Daddy is an amazing story for another time, but I'm going to give my listeners a condensed version. So my father passed about 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago. And for 17 years prior to his passing, he was basically a miracle man, surviving many, many, many unsurvivable health issues, from a severe brain injury that left him in a coma, just about dead, resulting in over 12 brain surgeries, I think, and learning to walk and talk and eat and speak and do everything over again. Then he had stage 4 lung cancer with a pleural effusion, chemo, radiation, more extensive and serious life-saving surgeries. And then unfortunately, he had a massive stroke, leaving him to be an invalid for the last 6 years of his life. We were fortunate enough, though, that even though he was physically impaired, he was still so sharp mentally and with us. I mean, he was fucking incredible. And so were you, Ma, because you were his greatest champion and advocate.
You're going to make me cry.
No, it's okay. You want tissue?
No, I got a handkerchief.
Okay, you got a handkerchief. It's okay. But really, I think the strength of both of you is what helped him survive all of the unsurvivable assaults. And you've told me often when people ask you about saving him, because you were heroic, and especially when the doctors said, say goodbye. So many times they said, say goodbye to him, get your affairs in order, it's done. You would say to the doctors, with your skinny little finger and your red pointed nail right up in her face, because my mother is 5'2", and these doctors are like 6-something, and she'd stick her little fingernail right up almost into their nose, and she would say, you don't know me, and you don't know Stephen. Right? In your best Jersey accent.
He had a sign in his bedroom of a stork half swallowing a frog. and the frog is saying, never give up.
Right.
And he wrote underneath it, never,
Right.
ever give up.
Right.
But I want to interject.
But what I just want to finish, though, because you are the biggest badass bitch I have ever met. And it speaks to who you are, that you never take no for an answer. And it speaks to who Daddy was, because he worked tirelessly to recover fully from everything, because he never wanted to disappoint you.
Right. That's true.
I mean,
He was, yeah.
I think so.
I
So
just-
where does that strength come from?
Well, I just heard something today, which fills in about Daddy and maybe what you just asked me, which I didn't think about it in terms of myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I was listening to an Orthodox rabbi, and he was talking to a group of people, and they said the soul signs up for that light.
Yeah.
God presents all the good and all the bad. And I just heard this on the way
Really?
here.
Wow.
And that soul has to sign that he's willing to accept it all.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how one becomes a tzaddik, which Daddy was.
Right.
And I guess
For
I
those of you
signed
who are
up
not
for
aware
him.
what a tzaddik or a lamed vavnik is, it's in the Jewish tradition, it's
18
18
righteous.
righteous souls that are on earth at any given time, and they're there to really help heal the world and help humanity. So where do you get all that strength from? Is it the Jersey in you, or like how are you so fierce that way?
I am. I was fierce with you girls too.
Oh, we know that.
There is.
Stephen knows that now too.
I believe that each of us have a force, and we can either lay down
Mm-hmm.
and be walked on, or accept the trials and tribulations that Hashem has given us, or
Push back.
push back
Yeah.
and say, you know what, this is not going to get me down. Listen, there was existential despair watching Daddy.
Yeah.
That was very difficult because he was
So sick.
but he was so virile and so strong and so much in love with you girls. And then with his grandchildren, that I think that gave me the strength so there would be a continuity in your lives of him still existing.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. When you were caring for him and you were in that caretaker role, did you feel at least that you had some sort of control of the situation that was going on because you were actively doing things to improve his
control.
health and well-being?
Total control.
You always think you have total control.
No, it was total control. It was teaching him to build a new sense as an individual in the position that he was,
Mm-hmm.
which is hard for him because he's not as evolved, or I didn't think he was evolved as us.
I was going to say, I think he
But
taught you
meanwhile,
wrong on
I
that.
have proof here
Yeah.
that he probably surpassed us by
a
a
long
millennium.
shot. Yeah.
It's and
So
we
you thought you were in
we
control.
cherished every day.
Right.
We really did. We firmly believed in never giving up.
No, I know that. I know
Yeah.
you. I know you guys.
Yeah.
And after he passed, did you feel this great loss of control, or did you have anger at the situation, or anger at other people who still had their spouses? Like, what were your
No, I
initial
never
feelings?
had anger. I get angry at him for passing.
I know.
I don't get angry at my life because I was so blessed.
Yeah,
I was so lucky.
yeah,
I had someone that was more than a partner. We
complimented
were
each other.
vulnerable. We were aligned. We got each other. There was an emotional loving depth that I had with Daddy
Mm-hmm.
that I thought was almost supernatural.
Right.
Really.
Right.
It was something that we were kindred spirits from many times over. If one believes in that, I do.
Yeah, I totally do.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to be a widow? Like when we think about like how do you define what a widow
Okay,
is?
but life didn't end with him for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was different, so I had to have a new beginning.
Right. I like that. I
Okay.
like how you rephrase that.
Yeah.
Okay. So this new.
Well, I had my girls, especially you, Melissa. I mean, I could not have gone through any of this. You were by my side 24/7 throughout everything, over those 17 years.
We were a fierce team.
Yes, we were. We were.
But what does it mean to be a widow to you? Like
okay,
when
so
you
one
hear that
has
word.
to reconstruct your identity.
Uh-huh.
You're not a couple any longer, and it's very unsettling to be that fifth wheel. And you don't want to be a charity case.
Right.
That's very important. So there's changes in your social network. And I decide, beside the girls and the kids, which was like number 1 through 1,000,000 for me,
Mm-hmm.
I had to become more active in foundations and implement movements for young people, which I thought was important in today's world, considering the hate, the anti-Semitism, the anti-gay, the anti-color, black.
So you wanted to be more of an activist
I
in
wanted to be
things.
more of an activist. So,
But that's not about how you
no,
felt
I had
as
to
being
build
a
a
widow.
new sense as an individual.
Okay, so you took the definition of
Yeah.
a widow of being lonely or alone and made it something into a more active role instead of a passive role.
Yes, because loneliness is suffocating.
Right. So
I
how
felt-
did you handle reorganizing your life and doing this? Like, how did you
Well, I
get strength
realized
for
he
yourself?
wasn't coming back. That life, that is my unanswered prayer, is him coming back. So I guess I had to use my love on people that I still have.
Okay.
All right. I didn't know how deep emotional and psychological pain that I would have, and that loneliness would be mitigated by social interaction. So therefore, each time I did that, it kind of numbed the pain for a teensy
Okay,
bit.
so that's how you're taking care of yourself, because that was one of the questions I was
Yeah.
going to ask is how do you take care of yourself? So how you're handling reorganizing your life and where you find strength and you get a support system is by being active in the community and doing things out there that make the world.
And being active with you guys.
Well, yeah.
That's the most important thing, is that the trips we take, I get to, and I brought you all up to be independent, and you have brought my 8 grandchildren to be thus. But
Don't you like when they give the shtick that you gave them back right to you? So that's how you take care of yourself.
You know, it's very funny because there's 8 girls and then there's 3 boys.
No, not 8 girls, 5 girls.
No, there's 3 of you and 5 girls. So I have 8 girls.
Oh, you. Okay, yes. You're talking about your 3
Halakhically,
daughters.
I have 8.
You're talking about your 3 daughters,
Yeah.
your 5 granddaughters, and your 3 grandsons.
And then there's the 3 boys.
Yes, who
And
we
then,
love
like,
equally.
you know.
You're so cute. Okay, so no, that's what I'm
comment.
saying. So
So
you're talking that
we are
family is the
matriarchal.
support system.
Yes, because by doing the things I do,
Mm-hmm.
listen, they have soccer, they have parties, they have tutoring, they have friends, they have Hebrew school, they have downtime. I get them when we go on a trip
Yeah.
because I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with them.
So that's a healing sort of supportive
That
thing
is-
for you. That's what gives you strength to go
Yes.
forward is having this special time with your
Yes,
children and your
exactly.
grandchildren and having their love and support. That keeps you moving forward.
Yes.
Okay, because the reason this whole podcast and episode came about is because you and I personally discuss the loneliness that you feel. Like I know in the house, you leave all the TVs on in every room.
Yes.
That, you know, your social calendar, like you just explained to our listeners, is filled, like everything on the calendar. You're very busy with, if you're on board meetings or you're starting programming or you've got cards or mahjong. I mean, you keep yourself super, super active.
Yeah. And the greatest thing is to say, oh, pick up a kid at school or take a kid there, or you got to go to New York and see Molly and Remy.
So those are
That's-
all the things that you do to combat the loneliness.
Yeah, because
What do you wish you knew prior
Okay.
to Daddy's death about handling loss or loneliness? Do you wish you had known anything about how to handle this loneliness?
I guess I didn't realize the depth of the loss and the pain. I mean, sometimes you have to breathe through the depression, which
Yeah.
is very strange for me because my glass isn't half full; it's pouring out,
Overflowing. Yeah.
and sometimes there is a persistent grief,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think because there's a silence in your life. You talk about the TV on. There is such a silence. And then there's also the stigma. Do you remember when I called you from the bathroom in the Federation thing?
Yeah. Tell our listeners the story if you want.
I went with all my friends, and they're very generous in asking me to come and be. But when you're in a crowd of 200 people and you walk up to this couple and that foursome and that sixsome, and you go from place to place
alone.
I mean, it hits you with a sledgehammer in the middle of your forehead. You are alone. And I think one of the first ones I ever went to, I went into the bathroom.
Yeah, you
and
called me
I
from
said,
the bathroom.
I can't do this.
So how do you wish people treated you or approached you?
Well, I guess some of them are lovely. Some of them I wish they would be more inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them I have deleted because of a lack of that.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Like, you know, you want to have lunch? You want to go to dinner? You want to come over? You want us to pick you up?
So you've sort of deleted those relationships. Do you
so
feel...
you feel all alone. You do feel all alone.
Right.
You do.
Yeah. No, I know. I've gotten those phone calls. That's why the whole reason we're having this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you started grieving Daddy before he passed?
No.
Or he had some sort of... Because I feel his death was a little bit different than other deaths because we had a lot of time to have closure with him because he was sick for so long, where other people, unfortunately, God forbid, there's a sudden passing or an unfortunate experience. But I feel like you didn't grieve beforehand, or you didn't feel
Not
that...
at all. I never thought he was going to go.
Yeah.
I never, ever thought he was going to go. I was a firm believer in never giving up. And I was shocked the day he passed.
No, I know. I was
shocked.
Yeah.
I even when the doctor said what they said, I wanted to take the table, turn it up over them when they said take him home. He's got a couple weeks. They didn't know what the hell they're talking about. He's gonna make it. But
is
it's
that
the
because
same.
you chose not to listen to what they were saying?
Listen.
Or
I
you
listened
just
to
believe?
everybody. I listened to everyone, but it's like, okay, so when the first time I found Daddy and he had aspirated, and I went downstairs because I could not.
This is for my listeners. So he had a brain bleed and she found him on the floor.
Dead. Gray, dead, not breathing. He aspirated on his own vomit. So I went and gave him CPR because I took it because Melissa made me learn CPR
did make her learn
because
CPR.
of her,
Guilty.
my grandchildren. Thank God. So I'm giving him CPR and I call 911 and I've got a Great Dane jumping all over me who's hysterical.
Giving CPR as well.
Yeah. So I'm giving him CPR, and at that time you did breaths and chest
compressions. Mm-hmm.
Compressions. So during the chest compressions, I would tell 911, you've got to come, blah, blah, blah. And 911 comes in, and they say, lady, he's gone. Let him go. And I decided in my head, excuse me, that I didn't want you girls to see him in a casket. It was my first thought. Because death is inevitable, and I'm not afraid of death, and people do die. I mean, it's just an afterlife to me. So I said, you have to keep him alive because I want my girls to see him in a hospital bed and not a casket. And one of them was away at university.
Jessica was.
In Connecticut. You and Sammy were here.
Mm-hmm.
So they took him to the hospital, and serendipitously, I have 2 aneurysms, and I had to see a doctor at Johns Hopkins. But he had someone come down to Doctor's Hospital who did what was called coiling in those days. And he was the only one south of Johns Hopkins who did coiling. So they took him to Johns Hopkins.
No, they took him to doctors, you mean?
Doctors, I mean. And we called in a neurosurgeon and who did not know this Dr. Steve DePrimo. And I said, can you stop the bleeding so you can keep him alive until Jessica gets here tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
And this doctor was able to coil and stop the bleeding. But of course, he was on full life support and he had a tracheotomy and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he was comatose for a while. Nothing was working. He was.
And they said to me, like a day later, lady, you'll get more out of a bowl of Jell-O than you'll ever get out of this
I was
man.
I was there.
But
they even drew a picture that it said his brainstem was not...
there was nothing between the ears.
And you know what you said to them? Okay. For our Jewish listeners and our non-Jewish listeners, there's a special time between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
Yeah, that's right.
The holiest of holidays. This happened just days before these holidays. And
I said, give me till
no, that's not what you
Yom
said.
Kippur.
No,
I didn't.
So that's when God seals the book about who shall live and who shall die. And you, with your little finger up in their face again, said, you can't tell me that. It's God's decision, and you're going to keep him going.
They were two
and
Catholic
let
doctors.
God decide who lives and who dies. So we're not doing this until after Yom Kippur.
Right.
And these two Catholic doctors were like, okay. And they gave you 10 days while he stayed in a coma. And
I kept yelling in his ear saying,
well, I'm going to say, no. I'm bringing that up later for our listeners. But so they waited and they watched. And after Yom Kippur, I think a little bit later, he moved like a finger in response to something, or a toe.
I was yelling in his ear.
And the doctor said, wow, there are miracles. Two scientists said, wow, there are miracles.
Yeah.
Okay, there's something out there greater than us, whether it's the universe or God or whatever you believe in. And everybody prayed, of every religion and every race and creed. I mean, I think there was power in prayer and multitude.
Everything. Yeah.
Power in prayer and multitude, because he survived an unsurvivable thing. Yeah, really.
Yeah, he was okay.
But I'm going to go back to what you said about grief, because I notice... I've always said that grief comes in waves. Mm-hmm. There's like big moments and little moments. So how do you tackle those times? Because let me just say recently, I'm going to say this too, because you said something that was really important. We've had someone, close friends of mine, whose father just passed as well. And I was talking about to them how grief comes in waves. And when I said this to you the other day at dance, you turned to me and you said, yeah, but love comes in waves too. Right. So how do you deal?
Love washes over you in different waves. So there's an ebb and a flow.
So is that how you deal
love.
with the grief when grief strikes you? Like when you hear a song or you do something and you're so sad. Like how do you deal with those moments?
Well, it brings me down, but then I get up and realize that I have to live with this loss and I have to carry it into a new narrative.
Right.
But the loss is there all the time.
Yeah.
The loss is there all the time. It's
where does your faith come from?
Oh, a firm believer in God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he controls everything.
Yeah.
I can think he's controlling what we're doing right now. I mean, yeah, I definitely do. I believe there's a God up there. Some of us worship him one way, some worship another, and it's all fine.
Well, there's something out there in the universe that's greater than just ourselves.
Yeah. I think probably the most painful, hardest thing is what you and your sisters and the kids are missing.
I think that's the greatest loss. Because I think he's the bestest daddy and bestest grandfather, actively involved in every facet of our lives, and took such great joy in being a part of it. And the kids, I mean, my kids were very lucky enough that they had him through everything. And I think he had a real influence on their lives and the way they look at the world too. I think appreciative and grateful for the blessings that we have because of all that they saw that he went through. But they had the best of him, and I feel that loss
absolutely
for all of the ones that didn't get to have that much time with him, and for going forward.
I think it probably
all
stopped with Sydney. After that, there's really
but all the things going forward that Daddy and the grandkids miss out on. So what advice would you give to someone who's experiencing the loss of a partner right now?
You have to be realistic and pragmatic, or you'll wilt. You just have to carry that memory, make that person inclusive in the stories that you do tell. And so
how do you
part
refocus,
of my religion
to
is that I believe he sees everything. His soul is there all the time.
Yeah, he's present.
So I believe he's present. So I try and impart that to the kids.
But how do you refocus to the present and create it like a continuous connection for yourself and the grandkids and the kids?
I mean, what his legacy is?
We're not there yet.
Oh,
you're jumping ahead.
I don't know. I tell them stories, especially when they do something that strikes a nerve, and I say, oh, Saba
Yeah.
would have loved this, or Saba participated in that, or he would be so proud of you because that was one of his longings and desires. So that's how I try and connect it to each of them.
I think that I'm going to say all of us, we do a great job of keeping him present in our conversation, in our life, in what the kids do, whether it be from the arts to music to anything that they do, or a song that he used to love. Even coming here to do this podcast, I know that Daddy's approval, when I first started doing this, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I walked in. He would be sitting on your shoulder.
No, but I knew he was sitting on my shoulder because I walked in and Steven, my sound engineer, says, "Hi, I'm Steven," with a V, which is what my dad always said. And he had Dave Brubeck, which is Daddy and I used to listen to. I know you hated the jazz, but Daddy and I, and there was a couple of other little things, and I was like, okay, Daddy, I see you. So I think we're very conscientious.
Those are signs. I have letters that are signs.
So that's what I was getting to. So you and I also talk about like a lot of visits that we get from Daddy. It could be a song, or discovering something in the drawer that wasn't in the drawer earlier, or some lost letters, or some sort of moment.
Well, they're not lost. They never were.
Well, you never saw them before, but there's some sort of moment where we recognize that he's with us. Have you had any recent visits lately?
Yeah, well, let me start with the first one, because that's the most impactful to me.
You were scared, I think, the first
time.
It
was very scary. His room was a hospital bedroom with a wheelchair and a breathing machine and a suction machine and a walker.
It was a hospital room in the house.
It was a total hospital room. And there were 2 end tables, single drawers, and they were filled with papers. The papers of all the things that I leased, the papers of all the things that I purchased. And I had them there, so the access...
For the medical equipment she's talking about.
So the access was there. And then after he passed, I gave away everything.
You donated it to people who needed it?
Yes. And I emptied the drawers and I shredded all the contracts. The only thing I kept was a cowbell because I didn't have anyone at night. The Sunday, the gentleman that helped drive Daddy.
God's gift on earth.
Yes.
Who helped take care of our father when my mother and I could not do it all.
Right.
Sunday was a godsend, a real angel on earth.
I would have him leave at 7 so that Daddy and I would have time alone. And I would lay in bed. We would play Jeopardy together. But he had a cowbell because his room was downstairs and my bedroom was upstairs. Our bedroom was upstairs.
You had to create a room downstairs that would be a medical room for him. Yeah.
So he had a cowbell. So I kept the cowbell. It was on the bed.
That was his way of getting a hold of you.
And that was his way of ringing me if he needed me during the night, which is like every night. That was okay.
He needed you.
He needed me. I needed him. He needed me. And I put the cowbell in the empty drawer. And new bed, everything. Everything in the room was entirely changed. Dresser, bed, and everything except these 2 end tables. I don't know what. Something rang in my head to go in the bedroom and open the drawer because I didn't go in that room at all. Right. It's a guest room downstairs. I have no guests. Right. It was empty. And I go in the drawer. So this is the end of 2016. And in the drawer is a letter. And the letter is dated 12/10/90. At that time, we were living
at another house.
2 houses prior, because we were on El Prado and then we were in Kendall. And the letter is from Daddy. Now, when we moved into this house, he was recovering from his brain bleed.
Right.
So he was in no shape to do anything. I packed everything. I unpacked everything. Douglas and
my
Mason,
husband, my brother-in-law,
took him, put him in his room upstairs. He was still upstairs with me, but everything in that house had been previously packed by me and totally unpacked by me because he was still not good. All right. So this is the letter that I find, the first one. I have found 5 since. But Ruth, if the dead can come back to this earth and flit unseen around those they loved, I shall always be near you in the gladdest days and in the darkest nights. Love, Stephen. This is a letter I find.
I remember.
26 years he wrote prior.
Yeah.
How did it get
through two moves, drawer, through two houses, in a drawer that was empty after he passed?
And speaking about his passing.
Yeah. Oh, I have chills just now. Okay. I mean, I remember when we found this, but I have chills just now after thinking about all of this and reading it.
And who would have thought, because this is the guy who came in a ascot and played the tambourine off key. Who would have thought that he was that type of a soul?
Yeah, a deep soul.
Never.
I mean, an older soul than you thought he was.
We are the witches.
Yeah, but we didn't realize he was such an old soul.
And yeah, so I have a bunch of those.
So what do you have? Did you have a recent visit, you said? What's your recent visit?
Okay, so the last one is the least significant. It's very tiny, but I was looking.
Yeah, but it's a visit.
Someone needed a picture of his grandparents who had gone aliyah to Israel in the late 30s. Mm-hmm. And they're from Alabama. And this was an Orthodox rabbi and his wife. And they wanted to write an article about it because they were the early pioneers who were buying land through the Rothschilds, blah, blah, blah. And I had the picture and the article from the newspaper in Alabama, and I knew exactly where it was. And I went to the box. I could not find it. So I told the person, listen, I'll call you back. I go back in the box and I take it apart, photo by photo, paper by paper, and nowhere to be seen. I call them back the next morning. I say, I am so sorry, but I can't find that newspaper article. And I'm getting really angry.
No, I know. You called me furious.
And I go back to the box that morning, and in it, on a heart-shaped paper, sometimes the best, I can't read it. The heart sees what is invisible to the eyes, and on top of it's a post-it note. Just right on top of the box, it says, Ruth, with much love, thinking of you, love, Stephen.
Another message, another visit. I love it.
Top of a box that I had been in 3 times.
Yeah. Are you happy you get these visits?
Oh, I love them now. Yeah. In the beginning, I did not. I've got a whole bunch more.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, you question, because I could have this strong belief that the soul exists. And maybe people have them in dreams. Or maybe people smell something in the air. But this is tangible stuff.
Right.
And that is very frightening.
Do you still find it frightening? I know you found it frightening in the beginning, but do you still find it?
No, in the beginning I found it frightening. No, I don't find it frightening. Now I wish there'd be more. But in the beginning I said, how does something pass through the ether?
Right. From
26 years or 20 years. Some of them go back. They all go back at least 15, 16 years. Letters. I mean, I have.
Do you think it goes back to what you said in the beginning, how his soul knew what he was signing up for, and he planted these little seeds for you to find?
Yeah, I have an envelope that I opened that I found with a letter from him.
Wait, what's the return address there? Isn't that the first hotel you went to?
No, first hotel was the Howard Inn, Johnson. Right? Oh, this is the Holiday Inn. Okay, so this letter is because there was a hurricane that went to Fort Myers.
Yeah.
And I was saying, oh my God, I hope the houses that Daddy built in Naples and Fort Myers didn't get destroyed. That was that terrible hurricane. Lo and behold, in the drawer, there's an envelope written to me.
I love it.
From the Holiday Inn, because sometimes he would stay overnight.
Yeah.
And he would write me. And this was in 1988, he wrote this letter.
And you just found it?
I just found it. I sliced open the envelope and I sliced the letter.
Oh, you sliced the letter.
But it was sitting there. Dear my love, Ruth. Most of the time I find it so hard for me to express my real feelings. But I must tell you, Ruth, that so much, I don't have my glasses on, of a dimension to my, you are so much of a dimension to my life that without it I would be lost. Every day I hope that we can continue to work together with love and looking into the future. With deep love, kisses and hugs, Stephen.
Aww.
But this was the day after the hurricane when I was saying, wow, what happened to his houses? Yeah. And here comes a letter from Fort Myers.
From all those years ago.
Uh-huh.
How he was talking about the future in that letter. How do you think of the future? Like, how do you keep the legacy of Daddy alive? I mean, you've said every day that it's in children. Conversation, a friend or a family, but or even in talking out loud to him, because I know we talk out loud to him all the time. Or maybe you're yelling at him.
I could yell at him out loud more than talk.
No, I know. You like to yell at him a lot because he's not here physically. But speaking of yelling, you and I have a very sick sense of humor, and we have found humor in horrible, horrible situations.
Oh, when I fell with the phone in my pocket?
Wait. Daddy would appreciate our lovely sense of humor. I know it sounds terrible, but I had to laugh when he was comatose because you were so upset with him that you would stand over him, shake your finger again in his face, and you would, you'd yell at him, "You better wake up, Stephen, because I'm going to kill you." Because you were so mad at him. Or even the other day when you told me, you said when we were talking about this podcast, you go, "There's a side of widowhood that my listeners would not want to hear." And it's because you fell into a garbage can. You slipped.
No, the garbage can fell on top of me and I fell into it.
Okay. The garbage can lifted up off the floor and fell on top of you. No, you slipped and you fell into a garbage can and your slippers flying everywhere. But I was laughing because I was thinking, yeah, you can't really be upset because Daddy was probably still with you because you forgot to leave out on one of the first dates. You ended up in a garbage can.
Oh my God, you're right. I forgot about
that.
Right,
so I was thinking, so you were complaining about falling into this garbage can, and the worst part wasn't that you fell into the garbage can, was Daddy wasn't there to get you out. And I thought, well, Daddy was totally there. He probably pushed you into the garbage can.
So I didn't scrape myself all over the asphalt.
Right, so you didn't slide, but it was also reminiscent of one of your first dates. So I think,
that's true. I forgot about that. I know exactly. I was wearing this fabulous white pantsuit and it got filthy. But the thing is, that's the tough part. I had my cell phone in my pocket of my robe. And I'm going, who am I calling? The Great Dane?
You called me.
But the thing is, but I wanted him there to pick me up.
I know.
I wanted him to pick me up, to write that garbage can, to get me in the house, to put a Band-Aid on my boo-boos, to hug and kiss me.
Yeah.
And
that's the loneliness you talk about all the time.
The pain.
Yeah.
The terrible pain is like, who the F am I calling?
I'm your phone call. I know how my day is going to go if you call me before 7 a.m. or after 7 a.m. or just at 7 a.m.
Yeah. It's like with the falling iguanas.
Yeah. Leave them alone. Does bringing him present feel like he's still here with you on some level? Like when we talk about him? No, I think
I'm too pragmatic.
Okay. All right.
No, but I like to talk about him.
No,
but it doesn't bring him here.
Right.
It's.
What's your fondest memory that you have with Daddy?
You know what my fondest memory is? It's not one. It's that smile of happiness that he had being with us.
Yeah.
That's all he wanted, was to be with me and you three girls.
Yeah.
And he had a smile on his face.
Yeah.
That.
The best.
That's.
Fills your soul thinking about it.
Fills my soul. Yeah. It's like that picture that Sam posted with the Chuck Mangione song.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the face I see.
Yeah.
That's the face.
Pure
when
joy.
He would walk in the house from work, and you girls, I could have been dead in the hall. You would have run over me to greet him, and that fills his soul.
That feeling is good. It fills our soul.
Yeah.
What legacy do you want to carry forward of him to the generations to come, or more specifically, what do you think his legacy is?
I don't know if I'm answering you correctly. I really would like the kids to see what a lucky and blessed marriage, partnership, can be. And I would like them to strive for that in their relationships, that one has to be aligned.
Right.
One has to be vulnerable with each other.
A true partner.
Yeah. They have, like we said before, have to get each other.
Yeah.
And that's an emotional, loving depth that I want my kids to find in someone.
And
Yeah.
kids, yeah. I hear
Yeah.
ya.
I wish they had seen more of it.
I think that if they haven't seen it, they hear it in stories and they know it in how we bring daddy present with everything.
You think so?
Oh, I know so. I mean, we still talk about things with our kids and you with your grandkids about, daddy.
Yeah,
and
but I
mommy.
don't think they knew how we were together.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I think my kids got the best of that. And maybe Sam's two older kids and Jess's older one.
Yeah.
Got to see that.
How we were together, we were a force.
Listen, you're still a force, but yeah,
No.
together you're a force.
No, see, and I don't think I am any longer. I think that's one of the things I think, that without him, I'm a fifth wheel.
Oh, I don't think people see that.
That's how I feel.
I think a lot of people think you were driving the whole time.
I might have been driving, but he was sitting next to me.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Thank you.
I think you're amazingly courageous, and I thank you for your courage in coming in here today. Do you think you survived?
I don't know. I'm schwitzing.
You're schwitzing.
And I'm usually frozen.
Well, I know we discussed daddy and loneliness and what it means to be a widow between the two of us all the time. And I also know this was not the easiest of conversations to have on a podcast
being
platform,
here was
especially.
difficult,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. So I really, truly appreciate you coming in, shedding light on it. I thank you for your courage in doing all of this. And hopefully it helps those out there experiencing that deep kind of loss too. So I thank you very, very much. I love you.
I think I love you more than anything in this world, Sissy. I think people have to, and they're never going to, but unfortunately it would be nice if people were more inclusive of those that are alone.
Okay. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. All right. So at the end of my podcast, I like to do a little thing called Quickie Questions with my guests. You're going to be fine.
Oh, I'm schwitzing more.
Don't schwitz anymore. What are your top 3 values?
My family, God, and my religion.
Mm-hmm. Do you wish you had? Do you want to give more? Is that what you want to do?
No, those are them.
Okay. Do you wish you had?
My family is my most important thing. It's constant, constant in my head.
True.
Yeah,
I think we all know that. Do you wish you had a do-over in a conversation with someone, or do you wish you had had a conversation with someone you never got the opportunity to?
In light of what we've talked about, I wish I had visited my Nanny Rose more.
Your grandmother.
My grandmother, because she was a widow.
For a very long time, too.
For a very long time. And I wish that I had known, been smart enough, been intuitive enough to have seen her all the time, or have had her move in with me.
Yeah, I hear that.
That's the one thing I would go back on.
Okay.
And then having 2 more girls.
What brings you comfort?
You guys.
Okay.
I'm happiest when I'm with all of you. I mean, you could all move into my house and I'd be a pig and you know what.
Okay, last quickie question. What haven't you done yet that you want to?
There isn't much I haven't done in my life. I've been very blessed. I think I'm the luckiest person in the world. I do. Even though Daddy passed, I still think I'm the luckiest person in the world because I had that. And I had you girls. I only wish for 2 more girls.
Okay.
I would wish for a home in Israel.
Okay.
That would be it.
Okay.
I don't think I've missed on much.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you, Mom. I'm so proud of you for coming in and doing your first podcast.
You owe me big time.
To our listeners, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you're here. Keep listening, keep learning, keep laughing, keep up with Beek on Being. Listen to Beek on Being wherever you get your podcasts. All episodes are automatically transcribed. Big shout out and a huge thank you to Stephen Chen at Penthouse Studios. Woo!
Thank you.